thought I'd make today a video of basically my PC system and the upgrades I'm about to shortly undertake, and I'll show you them shortly. But basically, to start off with, here we've got the case is the PC X900, which is a Leon Lee case. It's so far, I think it's one of the best cases I've ever owned. Basically, the case before I was the PC80, I think, from memory, and that case wasn't too bad, but I just wanted to make the water cooling a little bit more extreme, a little bit better, a little bit quieter, and run all my gear, which was just basically gaming at more acceptable noise levels. So inside the case here, we've got, for the CPU is an i7 and basically it's overclocked to 4.2 gigahertz. Beside that, we've got the Dominator GT RAM, which is operating at 2000 megahertz at C8. Underneath that, we've got the GPUs, which are 3 GTX 480s, and they're all overclocked to a 900 megahertz core. Draws a fair bit of power, as you guess. Which to power that's a 1200 watt AX Corsair power supply. I've had a few different power supplies powering this rig, and I had an NMX 1250, and that blew up on me. And so I gave the AX a go, and that's been great. So as far as upgrades go, well, what I got for you here today is we got a new solid state, the OCZ. Spin that round. OCZ Agility 3, which is a 60 gig one. That's just basically for my games. I got the Rampage IV Formula motherboard, which I just got today, which is the last bit I was waiting on, which is a pretty sweet board, as you can see here. So I'll get that uploaded to a video shortly. I've also got, just to the side here, the new i73930k. So I'm hoping to, with the coolants block and whatnot, to I guess at the minimum get 4.5. I've also picked up a 16 gigabyte kit of G-Skills RAM, which is, I'll just zoom in here for you. Focus. Move back a bit. Doesn't want to focus, but it's the 2133 megahertz at CL9 11 10 28 1.65 volt 4 gigabyte modules. So I'll be keen to see how they go compared to the Dominator GT. I also got a new water block, a CPU 370, which will be replacing the 360 in there. I also have here a the high flow EK block, but I think I'm going to go with the coolants one still, just to keep everything the same. The reason I got new blocks is I'm building 2 other water cooled PCs for friends. So yeah, basically one of my friends has grabbed me my Rampage 2 Extreme blocks and RAM in there, and basically so that's why I grabbed some new blocks, and that one's for a different build, although I wasn't too sure whether I wanted to use the new 370 over that one. So what we've got here now is the new system, all fully upgraded. As you can see in the middle there is the 3930k, which I am just currently testing with OCCT and Linux there. As you can see, it's running. Not too bad, just pretty much only got it up and running, so it's already sort of seems to be stable at about 4.5 gigahertz for all 6 cores, and that's using 1.34 volts, as you can see there, and you can see the temperatures there of the system being fully stressed. So in there now we've got the G-Skills memory, we've got an upgraded sort of water cooling loop. What I've done this time is I've actually gone with a split loop. As you can see there, the water splits off, one into the graphics cards and secondly into the CPU. I was thinking about water cooling the motherboard, but I found especially the Rampage 2 Extreme, it's not really worth it. The things don't get that hot. I'm not pushing it that hard, so to be honest with you, I wouldn't really bend over heels at water cooling the motherboards. Sort of been there, done that. Don't think I'll do it again. Just if you're wondering, bring you over here. This is with the system being fully stressed. You can see that the motherboard is at 28 degrees with the i7 chip down the bottom. Sorry, the X79 chip only at 40 degrees. So yeah, I wasn't too concerned. Optional temperature 1, as you can see, at 59 degrees. However, that's the VRMs at the top. That one there. just a word of caution, I'd keep an eye on that if you're heavily overclocking, and especially if you've got a system like mine where a lot of the parts are water cooled. They seem to get very toasty, so you might even need to put a fan on them. But so far it seems to be alright at about 60 odd degrees. On the box here, just bring you over, it says just there that they're rated for 105, so yeah, I think 60 should be fine for that. Up the top here now, that's just the lighting unit. As you can see, I just turned it off so it's a bit easier to see inside with the camera. But just under that we got the two solid states. We've got one there, they're both 60 gig, one's for the OS, one's for some games. And then this is the back of the hot swap drive bay, which, as I explained before, has just got the same hard drives in it, two 1TB and two 250 gigs. The 250 gigs just for like Steam type games, and the 1TB just for my data. Apart from that, that's pretty much the upgrades done. That's the X79 board. I apologise about the camera quality, but I only had this iPhone to record this on. Just down below is the water cooling unit. As you can see, I'm still working on it. I'm just putting a vent to go out the wall. I built this a while ago, and I've just sort of tweaked it a little bit this time around. What it is just a simple wooden box. I built this before basically those sort of danger den sort of towers came out, which I would have preferred over this, but I think it does the job. It works well, so I'm pretty happy with it. First, for the radiators, I've got two coolants, 4x120mm copper radiators in there, which is in series. And then we've got a dual bay reservoir there, which has the coolant. Next to that's just an old power supply, 650 watt. I think it's an IQ or something. It's probably not the best efficiency. Just if you're wondering, this unit, the cooling unit alone, which I was testing just the other day using the power meter there, it pulls about 55 watts. So it's a little bit, I guess, just when you think about just pumps and fans running, but it's not too bad. The interesting thing I've done with this, however, is to power the power supply, what I ended up doing was putting together a relay with some resistors from the 12 volt rail. So all I've got around the back here, if I bring you up around here, you'll see the blue cable there, which I've just sort of made up, and that just connects to a fan header. And when you turn the computer on, the 12 volts there goes, I'll get some relays out in a minute and I'll show you, but it just basically turns the green and black there, which is shorted by the relay. So that's always works well. I've been running this box for about 3 years now. It did my whole i7 rig, so it works absolutely flawlessly. Just in as far as pumps go, there's two pumps in there, the 450S pumps, or the D5s, whatever you want to call them, and they're just in series again. So it does pretty well. Cools everything down. You can see on the front here what I've set this up. This thing here just does this cooling box below. You see the two temperatures there, they're actual temperature probes in the coolant, and so it's about 24 degrees. And they've got the fans in there on the back radiator there are the big Scythe 3000 RPM fans, those really thick ones. They pull a fair bit of juice when they get going, but they only ramp up when the temperature goes up. So I've set them up on there, so when it hits about 30 degrees, they start going up from that point on until they get quite loud. Just below that is the other fans at the front there on this radiator, which is just the secondary, and they just run at full pelt the whole time, but they're those Noctua quiet fans. I had them in a build before, so that's why the two different sets of fans. And and just below that is the two pump speeds, as you can see. They're the 4000 RPM there, which is just the tack lead off the pump. So yeah, as far as the water cooling goes, pretty happy with that box. Thought I'd show you quickly how to make up the relay that turns on the unit downstairs. So you basically want to wire up a second power supply without sort of running like long wires from the green cables, or just simply you can do this from a firewire or USB port as well, whether it's 12 volts or whatnot. You can just get different relays at different voltages. But how this works here, we got this is the actual relay here which does all the work, and you can see it's 1050 ohm Best Star, which I just picked up from J-Car in Australia, and that's a 12 volt relay. So basically you just, I can't remember which it is, but that one and that one there, the two on the end there, they basically act as a, I think that's where you connect the two wires, and then that's the input voltage there. So all it does is just acts as a switch, and then I just had to use this resistor as well, which just dropped the current down a bit, and I just put an LED in as well, which you can see at the back there is that white LED there, and that LED just indicates whether the power's coming on and switch the relay over, which obviously you can see pretty clearly by the rest of the system turning on, but it's just good to know that that's all operational and working fine. So yeah, pretty easy thing to do. I just used some heat shrinks, solder and iron, and put it all together, nice and neat, and then just used a fan extension cable to go down to turn it on. On my other build, which you saw earlier in the video, that just used a firewire cable which plugged into the firewire port, but with the X79 not having firewire, I decided to just use the fan header and just poke it out the back of the computer. So yeah, off here at the end here, just put the side panel back on, and you can sort of see what it looks like there. It you see the split loop there again. Basically what I've done to change that. Just if you're on the rest of the stuff screen, which is the 27-inch Dell, which is 2560 pixels by 1440, I think, from memory. Really nice screen. I might put up some videos of BF3 a bit later on this. Just still stress testing. It seems to be all stable. I've had it probably about 8 hours of testing now, and so I pretty much found my 24/7 overclock, which is just as I showed you before, which is the 1.34 volts. 1.36 is set in the BIOS, which you can see there on the right there, which is when the system first came on, and once again you can see the temperatures there, which so yeah, topping out at about 64 degrees. Although you can see core 3 there's quite low. What I might do here quite shortly is put up some videos of some 5 GHz attempts. Now I've found my 24/7 clock. So yeah, that should be quite fun. So just to recap, it's a Rampage IV Formula board, which I absolutely love. 3 GTX 480s, i73930k, and a fairly custom water cooling loop, as you can all see. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video, and hopefully I'll have some more up soon. I thought the main reason putting this up is I've got so many ideas of other people doing videos on YouTube, including Tiny Tom Logan and Trudy44. So kudos to the two of you, and yeah, I hope the rest of you enjoy my video as much as I enjoy theirs. So thank you, bye.